Hello, name's Adam, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm bringing to you a build that I consider very easy to play, very simple to pick up and master, very good in almost any situation. And damage-wise, it is an absolute blast, maybe quite literally. So I've been quite lately with my upload schedule, or rather playing this game, first and foremost lately. So I thought let's present a very simple, very generally well-known type of build that most players have probably tried in their time playing Wizard of Legend, but one that is very strong and that I don't need to work so hard for, since I kind of suck right now, since I don't play a lot. I play like once a week at this point, and yeah, so this is yet again gonna be one of those videos where I claim that I haven't played for a while, which is true, by the way, and that I just want to do something that's fun to me. And this build, I believe, fits that situation quite well for the day. Let's get into it. Today's build is called Beam Me Up, which in and of itself is a pun referring to two things. One of which being Star Trek, if that means anything to you. That's a TV series, an old-ass TV series that's been running for what, like 20 years at this point? It is ridiculous. To me, it doesn't really mean anything. I haven't watched too much Star Trek over the course of my life, as I am quite young, and really not that big on Star Trek as a franchise. I don't even remember what the ship is called. Is it called the Enterprise, the Eclipse, something like that? But I get that reference. Beam me up is a famous quote, I believe. I don't want to leave myself out of the window too hot here, but I believe it's a quote directly from the series, probably from like Spock, one of the more famous, more infamous main characters of the series, that they would usually use in order to refer to teleporting. So they have a teleporter on board of that spaceship, and then they would teleport onto the surface, well, down from the spaceship, down from space, onto the surface of a planet, and vice versa. So beam me up would refer to, probably, I can only assume here, to them beaming upwards back into the ship from the surface, off of the surface of a planet. Okay, long story short, I suppose. Now, the other reason why this is a pun is because it specifically refers to the kind of Arcana and the kind of abilities and tricks that we're going to be trying out to run this build, that this build is based on, which is a whole hell of a lot of charged Arcana combined together. We just want to maximize things like cooldown reduction and keep those charges up permanently and just blow all of them right into our enemies, right? Like a massive magazine full of gun shells, of ammunition. Just pump it up, and then straight up pump it, just shoot it all into the bodies that are our enemies, I suppose. Specifically bosses, right? Charged Arcana, in case you don't know, an Arcana can be used indefinitely, right? And then it usually has a cooldown unless it's a basic Arcana. So you use a dash once and it has a cooldown. It goes on a cooldown of like what, 4 to X seconds. And charged Arcana, you have multiple charges of that. So say it has 2 charges on it, you can then go ahead and use 1 charge of it, and while the UI, while the graphics in the game will show you 1 charge remaining and the ability not on cooldown, in the background that 1 charge you just used will go on cooldown and it will tick down, and when it's back up you got 2 charges again. So you can use this Arcana multiple times, similar to basic in that regard. And we're going to be trying to max out on charges and play around with cooldown reduction so they restore faster. Very broadly but simply explained. Let's get into the robe for this build. For the reasons aforementioned, we're going to be running the Temper Robe, which leaves us at a whopping 500 max HP, and gives us 15% cooldown reduction right off the get-go, which can be enhanced to 22.25% cooldown reduction. That is a sweet, sweet number. That's a fifth of all of our cooldowns, right? It's fantastic. Now, it also gives us a bit of run speed, so we can kite enemies while in waiting queue, essentially, while waiting on our charges to restore. I personally prefer this over picking the Venture Rope, for example, which also gives you 10% cooldown reduction, that's 5% less, and the enhancement is only 5% if you upgrade it, for a total of 15% cooldown reduction, but it also gives you damage, and also run speed, and it decreases your max health, which for certain builds can come in handy. You can definitely run this, it's very strong. If you want a more damage-focused approach, you can do it. I personally care much more for that extra little bit of cooldown reduction. I just feel that more personally, and I do enjoy having a bit more run speed and being a bit more lazy with a 500 HP, allowing me to get hit more often. Yada yada yada. I believe I've said that same thing specifically about the Temper Robe, or like Spirit Robe or Grit Robe, for weeks at this point, because I haven't played the game much lately, and just a thing as simple as having 500 max HP right off the get-go is fantastic. It allows you to be hit so many times, it gives you a lot of leeway for errors, and it's great. It's great for casuals. So we're gonna stick with the casual approach here, which is going for the Temper Robe and maxing out on stuff like cooldown reduction and defense and so on and so forth. So we don't die. We simply don't want to die. Beating the game is secondary, right? Not dying and actually improving at the game, those are primary. Okay, for our starting relic, our starting item, we'll be going for the miscellaneous item right here, the Ring of Reserves, which looks an awful lot like an Enter the Gungeon item, I believe, like maybe a Mimic-related item. Ring of Chest Friendship or something, I would assume they call. I don't remember quite the name, but it's basically a chest or like a pouch or something on a ring. Very interesting, for sure. So the Ring of Reserves adds more uses to all multi-use Arcana. I believe it adds 1 use? Maybe 2. Let's find out. Now, whenever you equip this, yeah, it adds 1 use to all multi-use Arcana. Oh, no. It doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, look at our Arcana. We got 2, 2, and 10. Now, if we equip it, it's gonna be 3, 3, and 12. It definitely takes a while whenever you equip this item. This is why my Arcana were loading on startup when entering this room. All of your charged Arcana will start at 0 and then just slowly tick back up. So you can tell 3, 3, 12. It's apparently not just a plain +1. It's percentage based. I don't know the exact percentage. It's gotta be rather small. And I don't really care, to be honest. This is just the perfect item for working with multi-use, aka chargeable or charged Arcana. I wouldn't say charged. That sounds more like an Arcana you have to charge, right? So let's say chargeable, charge-based, or simply, as it states, multi-use Arcana. Very plain and simple. Don't really have to explain anything there. Let's get into Arcana. Now, for our basic, we'll be using something that maybe isn't as obvious. It's not a beam. It is Bouncing Blaze, a very long-range projectile, which bounces around the place, bounces across pits, and so on and so forth. Why do we want this? Well, mainly because it is very long-range, and that fits this theme perfectly. That's pretty much the only reason. Now it deals okay damage. The upgrade is very good. It pierces an infinite amount of enemies once upgraded, which is very nice. But it's essentially like a beam at that point, right? Beams are they are renowned for piercing an infinite amount of enemies, just going right through. So in that regard, it also fits. But it's mainly used for the long range, and because it's just okay to tap that every now and then, it's like a very good Arcana for that purpose. For Dash, we'll be running something a little more crowd control heavy. It's going to be Frost Feint, which is definitely more on the controlling side of things. Now we leave behind this decoy of ourselves, which will attract enemies that will target it if it's closer to them than you are. And as soon as they hit it, or as soon as it expires, it pops in this rather small AoE around it, dealing a little bit of damage, just a slight chunk, and then freezing our enemies, giving us a little more time to cast our main Arcana, being beams that are slightly delayed. So the freeze definitely coming in handy. It allows us to group enemies, to bait them away from us, to just buy us more time for the charges to come back online. And, most importantly, this is also charge-based. It has 2 charges at the base level. And now with the Ring of Reserves, we got a whopping 3 charges. Once you upgrade it, it will not only drop a decoy behind you, so at the beginning of your dash, but also at the dashed to location at the end of your dash, which is nice. So you can put down up to 6 of these just using up all the 3 charges. It's fantastic. And then you got them back up quite quickly, as you can tell. Like, the cooldown is ridiculously short with this build. I absolutely love it. It's very fun. It works very well with this. Moving on to our main Arcana, alright? The absolute main 2 Arcana of this build. The first one's gonna be the Chaos Arcana Distortion Beam, which has a rather long cooldown, and a base of 2 charges. This is not an Arcana you hold, or one that just depletes all of its charges, even though it is a beam, as you will see in a second here. It works more like Frost Feint in that regard. You can use it multiple times back to back. Now, it might look impressive. It has a rather short duration. But trust me, this is good enough. I don't really fathom how to explain this, to be honest. It casts forth this kind of shadowy portal with a massive long range, not infinite range, but very long range beam. As you can tell, it's not infinite range. It's about the size of a room. Piercing an infinite amount of enemies, dealing decent damage per second. Easily enhanceable with something like crit chance or just damage modifiers generally. Now, a disadvantage of this, as well as our signature that I'll be getting to in a second here, is they count as beams, meaning infinite piercing of enemies, long range, very good utility-wise, very good damage-wise, but they don't count, in this game anyway, as either projectile or melee. So you can't easily enhance the damage of them. They don't count as any of the categories in this game, as a matter of fact. Meaning that you can't just enhance crit chance or damage that easily with items that specifically target one kind of Arcana, for example, like all melee Arcana get more crit chance, or all range Arcana get slightly more damage. No, you can't, and that kind of sucks. It kind of slaps, but it's just a little bit of a downer. Let's get into the most fun Arcana in this build, by a landslide, our signature being Aqua Beam. This is yet another beam, the second of 2 beams in this game. You can probably see a common theme here, right? Now, this is 12 charges, a whopping outstanding 12 charges. It is insanely broken in player versus player. It is banned everywhere, as far as I know, and for good reason. My god, this thing has massive range, it has long as duration, it recharges super quickly, and the damage is quite nutty. Just look at it. Now, unlike Distortion Beam, you can basically choose, you can pick how long you want to cast this. You can abort it at any time, for example, dashing out of it to cancel it, like so. Or using another Arcana. Well, not in this case, but I believe... not quite. Maybe there's another way to cancel it. As far as I'm concerned, you can definitely dash out of it, right? That's good enough to me, personally. Maybe there's another way to cancel it. Either way, so you can cancel it at any time, if you'd like. Or you can hold it for as much damage as you desire. You can also redirect it actively, which would look like so. It turns rather slowly, but you have quite a lot of versatility using this. It has massive knockback, knocking enemies into pits. It has massive damage, at 10 damage a tick here. Infinite piercing, of course. And then this super long range, which is ridiculous. And on top of all that, both of these beams can be used as a signature. I personally definitely prefer Aqua Beam. Just look at this. It is 5 times the beams. It looks like a Pokemon attack, like Hydro Pump. This thing can still be controlled, and it's rather fast on that as well. Rather fast at swinging around. It is just ridiculous. Now, as for Distortion Beam, it's a lot less impressive. Let me show that off real quick. Now, the signature doesn't exactly enhance Distortion Beam, picking it as a signature, so Aqua Beam in that is much better. The enhanced Aqua Beam has a greater width. As you can tell, the default is quite narrow, and you want width when going for infinitely piercing weapons, right? So Distortion Beam is just a lot of them. But this will practically do nothing to bosses. And that's why we're going for Aqua Beam. Also, because the Aqua Beam upgrade is so much better in every regard. I would say that about concludes it all. There are not necessarily any combos here to explain. You will see in a second. You just spam your beams and wait for those charges to come back up, really. So let's get into stuff such as the intended build playstyle. I was going to say the preferred build playstyle, but, well, I suppose that's quite subjective. So the intended, by the creator to be intended playstyle is very, very aggressive. You can pretty much destroy rooms with just your beams. And then on top of that, you have two also very good supportive Arcana that have a lot of knockback in and of themselves. You can easily knock folks around, you can stun lock them, you can hit many things at a given time, you can destroy certain mini-bosses like summoners, for example. Bosses, you can also kill quite quickly since you have very long range, even while they are performing their attacks, you can attack them, generally speaking. And you have a lot of different items, I would say, that work with this. You have Arcana that work with these Arcana or this build generally. There's just a lot of nice synergies to explore, and you will pretty much find at least one synergy, one decent to very good synergy every run you play, due to the nature of these Arcana and the way they work. So in that regard, I don't really have anything else to say. Just go ham. Be aggressive, do whatever the fuck you want to, because you can. You can absolutely do it. You have super high damage right off the get-go. For potential problems, not so many, honestly. Greed, I would say, is your greatest problem. Don't be too greedy, especially into bosses. Don't kill yourself. You have super long range. You don't have to get up close and personal. Everything you use is long range. Reusable with a rather short cooldown. Just don't be greedy, man. Give yourself some time. I'm gonna try and force myself to do that, since I am typically very greedy with my builds and very melee oriented. I like to get up close and personal. Gonna try to hold myself back here, right? And finally, in terms of the greatest section of this introduction, recommended items and Arcana. For Arcana, I don't really have much to say. It's just the usual high damage, high range, high AoE Arcana, like the Bull Claymore, I believe it's called, or the simple explosive fireball and the likes. Like, yeah, just the usual, I suppose. Jumps are cool. Anything allowing you to dodge more damage and deal damage at the same time is perfect, such as Permafrost Bulwark, or generally like Astral Dissonance, for example. Any jump is cool, really, and then Permafrost Bulwark additionally. You know it by now. It's the usual. And then to get into the spices, right? To get into the spicy stuff. Now, for items, what would I personally recommend? The easiest thing to recommend here is just plainly ramping up that damage. Just raw damage increases are your friend. Now, you have many different ways to build this, though, and one of my personal favorites includes crit chats. You have to be very lucky, granted, and this basically only works in boss rush, since there's not a lot of crit chance items, and then there's some that only buff melee, for example, like the Dark Katana. There's some that only buff ranged, like the Chaos Visor, I believe it's called. So yeah, it's definitely very difficult getting there. You need like Monocle, you need the Clover, whatever the hell that's called. Was it called Seven-Sided Clover? I don't recall right now, but there's only a handful of items, and you need to find all of them. But when the stars align, once every century, my god, this build it destroys enemies. It destroys bosses. It heals you super quickly if you got items that heal on crit hit, or like the Blades of Sympathy, I believe they're called. So once you get hit, you can then heal yourself for a short duration afterwards by hitting enemies. These hit super often, and my god, are they good with damage enhancing or healing enhancing items based on dealing tick damage. Other than that, really, you can build anything. Anything you like. You can go for Mask of Toil. I almost said Turmoil again. I keep mixing those words up for whatever reason. That name is just kind of hard to remember in my head anyway. So, Mask of Toil, for example, Double Toil, is also viable for this, right? A lot of cooldown reduction will definitely go a long way when running this. You can run more charged Arcana, that are typically not super strong damage-wise, but when you have a bunch of them and a bunch of extra damage ups, that definitely adds up quite a lot. Just don't fall into the trap of spamming your abilities too much. In case you get a shitload of cooldown reduction, first of all, you don't need more. Second of all, like, more spamming does not equal better playing. The more you spam, especially into bosses, the more you will typically take damage and risk dying, because you're standing still trying to hit abilities on a boss that is coming right for your ass. I would say that about concludes it all. Getting right into it. I don't think I want to avoid anyone in particular here. Alright, we forget about the gold. Let's get into it. And we fight Thunder Twins, Shu, and Freya. That's two of my least favorite bosses, being Shu and Freya. I do like Freya, but when I'm being a casual, Freya can definitely end a run quite quickly. Not typically a stage 2 Freya, right? Stage 1 is a joke, obviously. You can get frozen and nothing will happen to you. But a stage 3 Freya, or later Freya, yeah, she can definitely fuck you up. She can demolish your ass. Just freeze you non-stop, and then follow that up with another combo, and so on and so forth. You love to see it. I'm gonna get those upgrades soon. I don't really feel like getting them right away. I feel like that wouldn't do the build any justice. I can definitely beat this dungeon without a single upgrade, without a doubt in mind. No issues. It is that easy. Look at that knockback. That range. Gotta love it. I believe these are the 3 of the 4. Well, I don't really know how to word this. I believe I'm using the longest range, technically, right? If you ignore that one Chaos Arcana that has, like, super long range. I believe I'm using the longest range basic Arcana with the 2 longest range standard abilities in the game. Fortune Cookie, Healer. Nothing interesting here. Now that we have practically already upgraded our 2 abilities, since the Chaos ability comes upgraded right away, I don't think there's really much else to look forward to beside the Cursed Vendor, aka Nox. Why? Why target me through the barrels, man? Leave those poor barrels alone. Leave those poor barrels alone, man. Now, the knockback of Aqua Beam combined with the instantaneousness, I suppose, of Distortion Beam, it's very fun. It's trivial, but it's very fun nonetheless. You do see me fucking up, but I did warn you that this is gonna be a casual run. It wasn't gonna. It is gonna. Usually the killing blow is gonna be delivered by Aqua Beam, not Distortion Beam. As you can tell in the beginning, Aqua Beam does about, what, like twice the damage of Distortion Beam. I absolutely love some of these drops. Bewitching Glue is fantastic, but the anti-knockback on it kind of sucks. It slaps to not have knockback. It's very fun knocking enemies into pits and around generally, and Aqua Beam is awesome for that. Same honestly for Bouncing Blaze. So Paranomasticon is the obvious choice here. Maybe we pick Mimic, like if we really have to, but for now, I'm looking forward to picking up a Para, which is a massive damage increase into bosses. Always keep in mind, we are using 2 of the most broken Arcana in this game. Infinite piercing, super high damage, destroying projectiles, I believe. Not too sure on that, honestly. I believe Distortion Beam does, since it's a Chaos Arcana, and those often do end up destroying projectiles. But I'm not too sure on that. I suppose we'll find out for ourselves. Now, even though Pointe, or whatever the fuck, however the fuck you pronounce these, are pretty terrible for this build, I'm not sure I want to Mimic here. Let's see, what can I buy? I could buy the token 400 and this 400. For a total of 3, that'd be a 15% damage increase, and no longer finding Mimic. I think that sounds okay-ish. Not sure that's gonna be super worth it. I think Para is just not only a safer, but a better buy as well. I can still end up... I can wind up finding a Mimic way into the run, and just obliterating everything, you know. And Para, in and of itself, is already much better than Mimic, in my opinion. Yeah, it only works into council members, aka bosses, but... so what? I don't have to spend 200 gold to make it good, so... it's always good. Just allows for finding Mimic later, yada yada. Did you see that? That was odd, man. What the fuck? I think I froze the black guy and he was still in his move animation, and then he slid across the floor. Very, very weird. Always try to hit as many targets as possible, if that wasn't obvious. Oh, there you are hiding. You little fiend, you. Now we get Tomahawk upgraded, unfortunately, so we cannot trade it, but that's okay, I suppose. We could still end up finding one of those 2 good cursed items that increase your damage for either all the enhanced Arcana you got, or for unenhancing all the enhanced Arcana you got. Both of which very good. Honestly, the one that unenhances Arcana is better because it leaves you the choice of, well, do you want cooldown reduction or just plain damage? I do value that a lot more. Having versatility is definitely key in this game. It is not only key, but it's super fun. Alright, Iris. I don't care much for Arcana. What is she gonna give me? Beside Permafrost? I don't really care for any Arcana that she could offer me. Even though arguably Permafrost would be fantastic, just as well as jumps. I probably wouldn't even buy that, since I don't usually get close to enemies. I don't really get a chance to use it offensively. Simply using it defensively is not worth, what, 175G? Probably shouldn't be evaluating everything in gold, since, well, the capitalist mindset is quite stupid, honestly, on that. Like, what if I end up with 1,000 gold again, just deciding not to buy any items, and then I just kind of, you know, just die down because I'm not using the super high grade items, and I'm not even using low grade items, I'm just running no items instead. Now these kind of suck again. I do like Tesla Coil. Since I hit many times, I have quite a large chance of shocking foes. I do like that. I do like watching that. I think that's very fun. Gyroscopic Inkwell, I believe, is also very good. Typically, a lot of signature charge is produced by these Arcana, as you could probably tell. It is one of the more brain-dead, more giveaway ways of playing this build. Just going for a whole hell of a lot of signature charge generation. And you can just keep spamming these, even more so. I kept spamming the wrong button there. I was looking for that Tomahawk on Robe, but couldn't find it. Just pushing them into the pit. I know I can. I know I have the knockback necessary to do so. This stuff is very fun. I can unfortunately use the extra wind damage, so I'm just gonna have to leave it at this. Wasn't too sure whether he was just doing the melee attack or dashing towards me. That looked more like a melee attack to me, but it ended up being the dash. Well, it's kind of hard to see through these beams sometimes. Okay, sound issues allowing me to evade while on low health. I do like that. I don't think I want to buy the token here, so maybe I do. Well, I got the boss coming up. I can get rid of the doctor that way. And potentially get that one item that gives me a lot more damage or a lot more crit chance. That would be fantastic. That'd actually be optimal. I don't want to stay at full health. I like the crit chance. I'll definitely take crit chance. The placebo, right? Kinda gotta watch out where I'm standing here. I did place a decoy inside of them so they would die, as I noticed they were quite low on HP. Searing Chain upgraded, that's cool. That's a decent melee slash movement Arcana here. Now wind is not quite the element I was hoping for, but I mean, good enough I suppose. Better than a trash Arcana that I wouldn't overuse, right? Oh, I was really expecting him to die there. Okay. Now, Berserkers is definitely interesting. I do like Jades as well. That's a lot of extra healing. But we got a Doctor at this floor. Redoctor on this floor. What is healing really for, right? I did run into that at the end of the day. We are going full casual mode here, apparently. Iris again, hello. Tipping my hat to you, ma'am. Just keep digging for knocks. Cause I'm not optimizing the combos here. Since I can't. Just walking around the place, man. Just walk around the place like you own it. Kind of juggling in between these enemies here. Hitting both of them so they won't attack me, they won't cast any shady shit. Oh, this is one of the many advantages of this absolutely massive range. Okay, let's keep that doctor for later. I don't think I want to do that just now. I don't, to be honest, remember all of the items she can give you, so maybe there's one that would benefit from getting more heals or something. In that case, I should be taking that now, but since I can't even remember, I doubt there are any. I just keep dashing into everything by myself. They don't even have to aim for me. I guess I need them to be having fun as well, huh? So, of course, not hitting ain't particularly fun. Might as well let them, right? Come into my corridor, boys! Welcome to my world. Alright. Just gonna walk back here, no need to teleport. It's all easy. What do we get? Oh, well, more critical heals. I won't complain, that's cool. 325. Am I willing to make that commitment? I do like Berserkers a lot. I think this is very strong with this build. I think Parachute might as well come in handy considering we're on the Wind Dungeon and we suck fighting Shu. Chakra's Locket is just a freebie, I suppose. I do really like the Berserkers, so I think I might just take it. I do intend to be hit here quite a lot, that's why I pick up these defensive items and then combining them with something as simple-minded and brain-dead, quite frankly, as a Berserker's Axe. The more you hit, the more damage you deal, essentially. I mean, that's cool. I like that. That's helpful. 8,000 spell damage. Holy crap. You can pretty much just swipe an entire corridor using this, right? For obvious reasons. The width on these is... man, it is ridiculous. Hey Iris, how you doing? I wouldn't even take a ward because I have to get super close to place a ward. I have to be super uptight and smart with the placement so bosses walk into the areas right as I am about to fire at them. And we're not doing any of that. No complicated plays here, just simple-mindedness is key. No, sir. We ain't doing that today. I can still hear you being alive over there. Not today. No evasion. Not even right up my face, dude. I love cooldown reduction. We don't have any extra cooldown reduction. Well, we sort of do at the point A, whatever the fuck. However the hell you pronounce that. I can never make up my mind how I want to pronounce that. I don't think there's an official pronunciation. I think that's just a word to... Like, generally in games, there seems to be this genre of words that developers use that sound fancy, but nobody actually knows how to pronounce them because they are foreign and usually French or Latin or something. And I would argue that most people cannot speak those languages at all, and I count myself proudly as one of them, so... Please, just use common words, alright? For the common degenerates such as me, then anyone can pronounce and understand. Right, Frost Feint was hard enough. Don't torture me with something French as well. I am assuming it's French, because it looks French. It could be Greek or Latin for all I know, but I'm assuming it's French, just because it's the easiest way out of there, metaphorically, I suppose. Alright, it does appear that, it would appear that Distortion Beam does, in fact, destroy projectiles, but that was to be expected, considering that it is, newsflash, a Chaos Arcana, most of which consume projectiles. Crossing that path. Really a big fan of the cooldown reduction here. We are receiving quite a lot. Come on, Tomahawk. Barely couldn't catch up there with me. I dashed right into that again. It's just all a common theme today, huh? Rewind there and closely watch my Aqua Beam. As soon as you get signature fully charged, it is fully charged, trust me. It's instantly 12 charges, signature Aqua Beam. Mwah! Just chef's kiss. It is fantastic, I love it. Now, I do like Claws of Telmo. You're a little late, to be frank. Breezy Grey is very good too. I might grab that. Yeah, I think... Oh, right, money. Right. Forgot about that part. I need money in this game. Sometimes it really doesn't feel that way. Usually I end up having way too much money. Or seeing the items that I've been wanting all run long way too late into the run. Come here, bad boy. Let me finish you off. Now that is pretty garbage, if I've ever seen some. Extra max HP, 50 extra max HP. No thanks, I will gladly take the Breezy Grey. I could probably also leave behind, like, the sound issues. Wait, are they active? 25%? Is it active? Does it only show when active? I don't think this counts as low health. If it's the same low health, quote-unquote, as on the Dependable Cake and all those other items, I believe I have to be sub 100 HP. I don't know. Moving on. Don't think about it too much. Around 7k on this floor. That's cool. That's pretty good. Now it's time to be demolished by Shu, but that's okay because we can heal back up easily right after. Now, obviously, on the last floor, I was wrong because I thought we would be fighting Shu at the end of the last floor, which was wrong for obvious reasons. So, we are in fact not gonna be having much healing after this fight, but I think it's going pretty okay. Come on, Shu. Let me cast it! I couldn't cast the second Distortion Beam. It was close. I tried dashing out. That's fine. We can take a bit of damage every now and then. We got a lot of healing due to our amulet. Did you call it amulet? Jade Jewels something? Jade Chakra Locket, right. It's a locket. It's not an amulet. My bad. I guess. Maybe should have picked a more memorable name for your game. For your item. I think the Binding of Isaac suffers from that greatly. They're just a lot of similarly functioning, very similar looking items in that game, and my god, there's way too many items, first of all. Second of all, just remembering all of them without using a mod, because there are no in-game item descriptions in that game, as far as I know. To this day, my god, it sucks. You can't do it. You need mods. You need mods or a website to play that game. If your game requires mods or website to be played, because the user experience is just that terrible without, it's not a good game. Even though Isaac is a very good game. So it's seriously lacking in that regard. I really love Wizard for the fact that it was the first roguelike I ever played, which taught you everything you needed to know about an ability or an item when picking that up. You just stay there for a while and you can read everything it does, right? Whatever you're looking at. And that's fantastic. I love that concept. Like, you have to do that in modern roguelikes. Like in Risk of Rain, for example. You need mods as well in Risk of Rain, or you need it when I played it, in order to even understand what your stuff did. Like, why? That is a terrible design. It's fucking awful. This is supposed to be skill-based. How can it be skill-based if I have to know a fucking wiki? Oh, wow. That double combo, fuck you guys. Doing me dirty there. But I got plenty of healing thanks to the lock-in. Alright. I shouldn't. It's not that good. It's summon related. I do confuse that for Para sometimes. They do look quite similar. But there's definitely something about Para that makes me remember, oh yeah, right, this is Para. Every time. See, that's good design, if you can tell stuff apart from each other. Now, these two books look pretty similar. On Para, you have LOL, apparently. So, make of that what you will, that's definitely memorable. Hello. How you doing, man? I'm just completing the floor for money here. I don't care much for anything else at this point. I'm full on items. I don't technically need to find more stuff. Stuff ain't gonna make you happy. It's the love inside, man. It's the love inside that makes you happy. Okay, Iris again, hello. Him again, whatever his name is. For whatever reason, I can only memorize the name Iris. And even with Nox, even though he's by far the most used NPC, my most used NPC in this game, I can't even remember his name. Time to time. Let's hope we find... Oh, never mind, we found the card guy. So let's get rid of these and maybe get Dice of the Nemesis. That's gotta be pretty good. This is anti-freeze, anti-burn. The anti-freeze does come in handy here into Sora and Freya, so I should pick that up. I just do not know what to drop. I'm still hoping we'll find a Mimic sometime soon, since we have plenty of unusable, just plain old bad items. Okay, waiting here. And casting it. Woo! I had to kind of commit there because I thought I saw the thief dashing behind me, but it was already too late. Luckily, we got plenty of armor from our relics and anti-crit chance. Like, a super defensive run, you know. Well, that's cool. I could be stacking these, but is there really a point in this at this point in time? Like, what am I gonna find that's gonna make that worthwhile? Just a little bit of a damage up. I'm not sure I want to have that. Yeah, I did a massive oopsie there. That was pretty stupid, and I'm only alive due to my defensive relics. Thank God for that. That's the point why I have them in the first place, right? Again, thank God for items that actually do something. That actually do what you want them, what you need them to do. World would be a dire place without them. I do certainly feel like a Pokemon when playing this. I don't think I want to get rid of anything here. I do like most of these items. Not too happy with dice here because I don't have enhanced crit chance. I could still find that. Catalytic tonic, I don't really want to trash. I think this could come in very handy. Same for all the other items, honestly. Just an okay combo overall, I'd say. Guess I'll keep these. I don't really want the gloves. Moving on. Almost 10k damage. Wow. Just cracking those high-end numbers, apparently. Love it. I don't really have a lot of damage, though. It's like mostly base damage. Love the crit damage. Feels good to see that many crits. It mends my wounds. Fuck you guys. Can't miss these. Still not really a good anything here. We got summon relating, more max HP, more lightning damage, another combo to basics, and then a pretty bad item that basically does nothing for me. Bye bye. I should have dodged the other way. Wasn't too sure I'd get away with that, to be honest. I did not. Volatile Gemstone is absolutely fantastic. Now, I will pick that up any fucking day. I'm not sure what to drop for it, though. I think Catalytic is pretty good, since this is Chaos Trial, so we're gonna find gems while fighting Sora. We're gonna get a lot of healing while fighting Sora. Potentially. Now, maybe I'll trash it. Maybe I'll trash it at the end of the floor. I don't consider that worth right now. I prefer the healing over damage. Just spam basics, see, that's good enough. Because they keep dashing into the corridor as long as I'm standing inside. They can't get in here. Okay. wiping those out. Dashing quickly to be out of their LOS. I don't want to be targeted by those guys. Would you please dash? Little piece of shit, man. What a little piece of shit. Alright, parkour. I haven't done this for a while, so it's not gonna be too great. Thanks for the heals, though. Much appreciated. And the money, I guess. Oh no! Not the money! Frost Feint is just so fucking good, man. Hello, Iris. How you doing? How's it going, my girl? I keep making stupid mistakes. Stupid fucking mistakes, man. Was that Dr. Disrespect talking about cheating on his wife? I believe so. Alright, let's clean house with those 3%. Wipe the fucking floor. Literally. Oh wow, that's actually quite a great pun. Or is it an analogy? I'm not sure. A metaphor? No, I think it's a pun in that regard, because this is called a floor, a level is called the floor, and we are wiping the floor, okay? We are killing everything on it. aka wiping the floor with the blood of our enemies. You know, just like the phrase. That's a pun that I've never really thought about so far. Oh yeah, that sweet, sweet 25% chance for a critical heal. Gotta love it. Now Volatile is definitely the best pick there. You can add me all night long. I don't give a shite. I think it's undeniably the best out of the presented picks. Even though you could argue that just having more damage would solve a lot of problems. I just can't get into a position where I can target all of them, get away with it. Like so. Ooh, as you can tell, our damage is fucking abysmal. But at least we got signature charge on our side. Moving on. Okay, Freya, bring it on. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Yeah, I got beams too. Not like this. Thank God I got out of that in time. Fuck you, dude. Or doodad, I suppose, since you're not quite a dude. I like what Nintendo did with Toad, the mushroom dude. Well, the little cute mushroom guy. And Toadat. I think that's another French thing, honestly. Not quite sure. It reads French. But at least it's easily pronounceable, okay? That's where it's at. Who cares what it means as long as it's easily pronounceable? Yeah, thief targeting my decoys there, fuck you. But I'd say while the decoys are active, so that will happen. Casting the Tomahawk early so it will orbit around me, giving me ample time to dodge and destroy as much stuff as possible. Now often when playing this, you will find yourself asking, where are the enemies? And that's because you can't fucking tell. But it's fun nonetheless, just spamming these. It's a fucking good time. Hella jolly time. Right. 471. Still, I haven't looked yet. I'm assuming we still got dog shit. Ooh, never mind. These are actually awesome. Unironically, very, very good. Holy crap. Now, this doesn't exactly do anything at this point. It's still, it would be awesome if I could apply status effects against Sora. I love whenever a build can do that reliably. And this is definitely one of the builds that would be able to do that. I hate that you can't. I really hate that. I really hate that design decision. I think it takes away a lot of fun from the game. But that having been said, since we can actually apply status effects, let's just go. Vampire eyeglasses. Regenerate health every time you land a critical hit. It's not a lot of health, but it definitely adds up. Anything else we could discard? I see Magician's Top Hat, which is a lot of cooldown reduction. I don't think there's anything that I'd like to get rid of, per se. Gyroscopic is okay. Calends are okay. Puffy Parka is good. So, I'd say, let's get right to it. Let's get rid of the Tomahawk, since agents are just a lot easier to use and control mid-fight. I don't really have to bother when or where to throw these. Whoops. Didn't mean to stay still there. Man, our damage is abysmal, but that's fine. Oh wait, no gems. I forget that he only drops them when he dies. I thought he dropped them when transforming, but nope. No sir. Try to kill as many of these as possible, since my god are they obnoxious. Same here. Just hit as many enemies as possible, i.e. Sora and of his and all of his orbs. Holy, I think that was a crit. That must have been a Dice of the Nemesis crit. That just obliterated him. Holy fuck. Yeah, almost right back to full health. That was just... my god, that was a lot of damage. Right back to full HP. Unfortunately, there are no stats on, like, highest damage in one hit. But I'd say that was quite fantastic. Quite a decent show-off run, honestly, for a run as simple as this. Alright. Thank you, Mr. Master Sura. Let me just really quickly spit into Freya's face, yeah. Fuck you. fuck you sincerely for causing so much harm to me. And right on that topic, fuck you. I fucking hate you, Shu. Just go die in the gutter or something. I hate this guy. I hate you so much. Freya just fucks up newbies, right? By freezing and then repeatedly, essentially stunning them and comboing them out of the Chaos Trials. But man, Shu is just a piece of shit overall on all of his attacks. I can at least appreciate Freya now that I am experienced at this game, but Shu? Nah, man. I'll forever hate that shit. Alright. Good topic to end the video, I suppose. Yeah, fuck Shu. Fuck Shu altogether. Just make a petition to get that guy removed from the game. I don't think it'd be missing much. I mean, Wind Dungeon is cool. Just replace Shu, right? Replace him with... Fuck it, dude. Zeal, Atlas, Freya, any of the fun bosses. Maybe a second Sura. Who gives a shit? On that note, thanks for watching. Good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are. And I suppose I will see you in the next video. Hope you learned something from this one. Maybe you get to see a new build, or maybe a different playstyle, whatever it may be, whatever the takeaway may be. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye bye.